put together. And, I mean, the movie, I mean, really, these days, if a movie has a good pace, it can kind of get away with that, and I think this is really what Takers does. And it also should be noted that the dialogue in this movie is, like, complete crap. Like, I'll just say this. There's this scene, I'm not spoiling anything, this is actually in the trailer, and it's actually a total ripoff of the Italian Job remake, if you guys have seen that. I mean, there's this scene where, like, this armored car is on the road, and then this like, hole in the street blows up in front of it, and then this other armored car behind it, like, pushes it into the hole, so it's, like, down below, and that's completely taken from the Italian Job. But it's hilarious, because, like, right after the thing blows up, there are these guys, the guys in the armored car, they're just like, we need backup! The street just blew up! And I was just like, yeah, okay. So yeah, to wrap this up, Takers is nothing good. I mean, it's really just, it's not offensive, that's the thing. It's very inoffensive. It's recommendable as, I'd say, a rental. But, yeah, if the trailer didn't interest you at all, then you really have no reason to see this film. And I mean, every actor is just pretty much eye candy for the girls, so, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Check this movie out if, you know, you're just looking for some stupid escapism. But please don't see it in the theaters, just rent it. So, yeah, that's Takers, and it comes out August 27th, and it stars Idris Elba, Paul Walker, fucking Hayden Christensen, the guy that ruined Star Wars, and, just some other rapper-turned-actors that aren't worth a crap.
Jar Jar Binks ruined Star Wars, okay? That's, like, not even debatable. But, what do you give it out of 5? What do you give Takers out of 5?
I give it, like, a 2. I mean, it deserves less than that, but really, it's a serviceable film. So, yeah, that's Takers. And,
the director of that movie, his name is John Lucenhop.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm curious, what has this guy done before?
No, like, literally, I'm on his Wikipedia page right now, and all it says is John Lucenhop is the director of Takers. Like, go look it up. Like, go look it up right now.
Okay, I'm on his IMDb page right now. Okay, he directed Takers, he wrote Takers, and he acted in a film in 1995 called Dirty Money, and he was the man in the white Mustang. So, and that's about it.
This man has a very distinguished Hollywood career, as we can see.
Mm-hmm.
So, now we're going to talk about an older release that we saw at some point this week. I watched a movie starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who, as you all probably know,
Inception,
and 500 Days of Summer more recently.
Actually, no.
Well, not more recently, but also recently. This is kind of before he hit it big. This is a movie called Brick. He plays a high school. He plays like a high schooler called Brendan, and this movie is kind of like a throwback to all the old film noirs, kind of like Maltese Falcon and The Third Man. He investigates the death of his girlfriend, but like the whole concept of the movie is that it's like a drug syndicate and like a crime syndicate like in a high school. So, like, there's mafia bosses that, like, are literally still in high school. It's kind of a bizarre concept, but it definitely works within the concept of the movie. So, as I said, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he plays a guy named Brendan, and he's just investigating the death of his ex-girlfriend. And then he digs deeper and deeper into this kind of drug syndicate, and I think this is a totally fascinating and incredibly entertaining movie. I just think I think the best thing about the movie is the concept. Just like taking like all of these old kind of cliches, kind of like the lone narrator and the femme fatale, and then just putting them in the high school setting. It just works so perfectly. I don't really know what to say about this movie. I mean, my thoughts like a week later still aren't fully gathered on it. I think it is a totally entertaining movie. Netflix it's on Netflix Instant Watch actually. So.
If you have Netflix, you have no excuse not to check this out. And I would totally agree with everything Ryan said. I think it does a great job of not only kind of, you know, getting the feel of the film noirs down, by not only kind of, you know, having, like, this really kind of snappy dialogue that works perfectly, but just kind of emulating the filmmaking style. And like Ryan said, kind of taking those, you know, quote-unquote cliches and translating them into a modern-day setting in just a really effective way. And I think this movie contains, like, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's best performance to date. I mean, just his presence in the movie is really effective and kind of unpredictable.
The thing, I totally lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say? The thing is, though, like, because it's like set in like a high school setting, it's kind of a gimmick. Like it sounds kind of gimmicky on paper, but as I said earlier, it just completely and totally works. It plays fully and completely to the film's advantage. If I were to rate Takers, I'd give it. I mean, not Takers. Jesus, Brick. I'd give it 4.5 out of 5. It came out in 2005, and it's gotten a lot of praise on the internet, but it definitely didn't make like any money at the box office.
Yeah, this movie was at Sundance. It's a pretty big Sundance hit, and I think it's worth mentioning the director of this film, Rian Johnson.
Ryan.
Yeah, it's Rian, not Ryan. I mean, this guy Rian Johnson, I think he's like one of the most interesting working directors. I mean, he's only made 2 movies. This was his directorial debut, and he also made the film The Brothers Bloom, which is actually, I love that movie. I'm not sure if you've seen it, Ryan, but
I haven't seen it, but he's also done some episodes of, I don't know if you guys watch his show, Breaking Bad.
Yes, he did an episode of season 3 called Fly, and I've seen it. It's a fantastic episode. And his upcoming project is a science fiction time travel film called Looper, which stars Bruce Willis. And I mean,
doesn't it also star Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Or
I'm not sure. It may, but yeah, I just think this is a director that you should really keep your eye on because he's doing a lot of really interesting stuff. And I don't know, he's just a cool dude. All right, and Brick is a fantastic movie. So yeah, want to wrap this up, Ryan?
I pretty much have nothing else to say. So tell us about the older release that you saw this week that really impressed you or made an impression on you, Ivan.
So yeah, watch Brick on Netflix Watch instantly, and I am going to, before we get to our big review of The Other Guys, I'm just going to talk about this one last movie that I saw this week. It's Stagecoach, directed by John Ford, from 1939. Now, this is the film that's kind of considered, like, it's kind of the film that can, like, really kickstarted the Western genre. It actually made it, like, a very respectable genre and not just kind of this pulpy, fun thing that it was before. And it really just, I don't know, and it's one of the most influential movies of all time. And it's something that I really thought I had to check out. So I bought the Criterion this past week and watched it. And I have to say, this is, like, one of the best movies, like, ever. I mean, and the thing is, it's a really just entertaining, fast-paced movie too. Like if there are any parents listening to this and they want to get their kids into like older black and white films, this is a really great one to kind of show them because this movie it's just really entertaining. Like it's kind of just classic Hollywood filmmaking. And really, I think this is one of the great hangout movies of our time. Or not our time, but of all time. And what that means is, if you don't know, the concept of a hangout movie is, the characters just feel like your friends, and every time you rewatch the movie, it's just like going back and hanging out with your friends once again. Kind of Do the Right Thing and Dazed and Confused are considered to be some of the greatest hangout movies, and I put that up there with those as far as just pure watchability. But I forgot to give you guys the plot synopsis, which is stupid of me. Stagecoach is about it takes place during the Civil War in New Mexico, I believe, and it's basically just about these group of misfits who are traveling across the state in a stagecoach, and they all have their own reasons for going, and none of them know each other. And over the course of the stagecoach ride, they all kind of bond, and they go through all these fun adventures, and it's a fantastic movie. I mean, that's just it. It's definitely one that everyone who has an interest in film should check out because it is really one of the most influential movies just of all time. And yeah, it's freaking fantastic. And all the characters are fun. Like John Wayne in his first real starring role plays this kind of very gentleman-like outlaw called the Ringo Kid. And then there's this kind of very uptight, meek alcohol salesman. And then there's this, alcoholic doctor. And I'm not going to get too into this, but really it's just a fun movie. And also, this film is also on Netflix Watch Instantly. So if you have Netflix, another film that you have no excuse not to see if you have Netflix. And yeah, this film, it's got like 2 trillion DVD releases, and it's on Criterion. And I haven't yet watched any of the special features on the Criterion, but I mean, it's probably pretty fantastic. So yeah, that's Stagecoach.
Yeah, I have yet to see Stagecoach. I'm a big John Wayne fan from like the 2 movies I've seen him in, and I hear that's his best movie. So I'm looking.
Yeah,